Breaking news. There's a major buzz coming out of Los Angeles. And Chargers fans, you deserve to know every detail. As the Bolts gear up for a defining season, three major developments have emerged. And while some may spark questions, they also reveal how bold this front office is willing to be in pursuit of long-term success. We're talking about a young draft pick who's already moved on, a surprising decision, no doubt, but perhaps part of a bigger vision. We're talking about a veteran reunion that caught everyone off guard, yet could bring back leadership and familiarity. And yes, a talented rookie facing early challenges. But it's far too soon to count him out. But before we dive into all this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, tap like, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single Chargers update, because this season, every detail matters. Let's jump right into the first headline. One of the Chargers' recent draft picks, seen by many as a player with real upside, has already found a new home. It's a surprising move, especially for fans who were excited to see him grow in powder blue. But let's take a step back. NFL rosters are incredibly competitive, and sometimes, tough choices are made based on fit, depth, and long-term plans. Now, early reports say he's making noise in his new environment. That's great for the player, and while it's fair to wonder what could have been, the Chargers clearly have confidence in their current direction. Was it a risk? Sure. But sometimes, taking bold steps is how championships are built. And what's next might surprise you even more. Could a former Charger be turning heads in another city? While the Bolts quietly reflect on a decision that may come back into focus. Let's talk about Jordan McFadden, a name that's gaining real attention outside Los Angeles, and one that Chargers fans may want to keep an eye on this season. McFadden, a versatile offensive lineman with the ability to line up at multiple interior spots, was once viewed as a valuable depth piece, someone who could grow into a long-term contributor protecting the franchise quarterback. But in a move that surprised many, the Chargers released McFadden late last season. It wasn't to bring in a veteran star or a game-changer, but to elevate running back Jarrett Patterson, a move tied more to short-term flexibility than long-term development. To be fair, NFL decisions aren't always about headlines. They're often about roster math, injuries, and situational needs. And the front office believed this was the best course at the time. Still, it's worth noting that McFadden is now in Chicago, and early reports from Bears camp suggest he's fitting in well. Coaches are praising his work ethic, versatility, and potential to be a steady piece of their offensive line rotation. Meanwhile, the Chargers are moving forward with their current depth, including promising rookie Branson Taylor, who's working hard to earn his spot. Could McFadden shine elsewhere? Maybe, but the Bolts have their own plan, and this season will reveal just how it all plays out. And up next, we dive into a surprising reunion that has fans across the league raising eyebrows. Now here's where things get even more intriguing. Everyone knows how much coach Jim Harbaugh values his offensive line. Just look at Trey Pipkins. He's currently the fifth highest paid player on the entire roster, largely for his role as a reliable swing tackle. That tells you everything about how this staff views protection and depth. So yes, it's a little surprising that a cost-controlled, flexible lineman like Jordan McFadden wasn't kept around, especially on an expiring deal. But again, we don't always see the full picture. The Chargers may have a long-term plan that's still unfolding, but Bolts fans, this next storyline is the one that's had everyone talking, because it involves two of the most beloved wide receivers to wear the powder blue. Let's talk about the Chargers' recent decision to bring back Mike Williams, a talented pass catcher, no doubt, but one who's still working his way back from a major injury. After a tough 2023 season and time split between two teams, he's looking to bounce back strong in Los Angeles. What raised some eyebrows, though, was who the team didn't bring back. Keenan Allen, a fan favorite, a leader, and a player who had an incredibly productive season with Chicago, posting 70 catches, 744 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Now here's the twist. Keenan has publicly said he'd love to return to LA. He's not chasing a massive deal. He just wants one more shot with the team he gave everything to. So why go with Williams instead of Allen? Well, there may be more to the story than meets the eye. Perhaps the coaching staff sees Williams as a better fit in this new offensive scheme. Maybe it's about youth, upside, or physical tools. Or maybe Just maybe, it's about giving a player who's already overcome so much a real chance to prove he still belongs. Chargers fans have every reason to feel sentimental about Keenan Allen. But in the NFL, tough decisions are part of building the next chapter. And this next chapter? It's about to feature a rookie who's already facing the biggest challenge of his life, before even playing a snap. Now, here's a part of the story that truly has the fan base thinking. The Chargers had the cap space to bring back both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, if they wanted to go all in on experience and leadership. So naturally, fans are wondering, what's the strategy here? Is the front office betting on a healthy comeback from Mike Williams, whose size and explosiveness have always been undeniable when he's on the field? Are they counting on a big step forward from Quentin Johnston, the young receiver with raw talent who's still refining his game? And what about the rookies, Trey Harris and Kendre Lambert-Smith, who bring speed, energy, and fresh potential into the mix? It's not that the decision to bring back Williams is wrong, it's just bold. Especially when you pass on a player like Keenan Allen, who is still producing at a high level and wanted to return. But in the NFL, these calculated risks are how teams sometimes discover the next breakout star. The 2024 receiving core might look different, but that doesn't mean it lacks promise. Speaking of promise, this brings us to the most surprising development of all. One of the Chargers' 2025 draft picks, Kendre Lambert-Smith, is already in a tough battle to make the 53-man roster. This isn't rumor. It's coming straight from multiple camp reports. Despite being drafted for his big playability and explosive college production, he's reportedly on the bubble, fighting hard for a final spot in a crowded receiver room. Let's be clear, Lambert-Smith is no slouch. He's 6'1", caught 50 passes for 981 yards and 8 touchdowns last season at Auburn, and averaged nearly 20 yards per reception. That kind of explosiveness doesn't just disappear. But the NFL transition is tough, and with veterans and fellow rookies ahead of him, nothing is guaranteed. Still, this is the type of challenge that forges great players. And Chargers fans know, this team has a history of turning underdogs into game changers. The real question is, can Lambert-Smith rise to the occasion, or will the depth chart squeeze him out? One thing's for sure, training camp just got a lot more interesting. Kendre Lambert-Smith is exactly the kind of player fans hope to see make an impact. With his deep threat ability, size, and smooth route running, he could be the perfect complement to Ladd McConkey, especially if Quentin Johnston continues to find his rhythm. Coming off a breakout season at Auburn after transferring from Penn State, Lambert-Smith posted nearly 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns, proving he's a legitimate playmaker with clear NFL upside. So why is he fighting for a roster spot? Well, that's life in the NFL. Day 3 picks often have to claw their way onto the field, no matter how talented they are. And despite his impressive college production, roster competition is fierce, especially in a receiving group that's still finding its identity. What makes the story even more surprising is the context. The Chargers' wide receiver room isn't exactly loaded with depth. There's talent, yes, but also uncertainty, which makes it even harder to understand how a player like Lambert-Smith, with his explosiveness and potential, isn't already a lock. Still, this is where the great ones are made, through adversity. And now, Bolts Nation, you've seen all 3 pieces of the puzzle. So, let's take a step back. Did the team give up too early on Jordan McFadden? Was bringing back Mike Williams over Keenan Allen the right call? Can Kendre Lambert-Smith overcome the odds and prove he belongs? These are real questions. Not to stir panic, but to invite passion, perspective, and pride from fans who live and breathe Chargers football. Smash that like button if you're riding this roller coaster with us. Drop a comment. Which of these stories do you think matters most heading into 2025? And most importantly, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment of this wild Chargers journey. The powder blue faithful deserve nothing less than clarity, bold decisions, and yes, a few underdog victories along the way. Is this the season it all comes together? We're about to find out.